Hello and welcome to the Cow Moose channel, and today I'm back with another episode of Airport CEO. Now, it's been a while since we've done this, but that is because a new version of Airport CEO has been released, Alpha 36, and this is the emergency update. Now, if you haven't seen any of my previous videos, which were in Alpha 34, then check out the card in the corner. Let's get into it. So since this is a major update, in fact Airport CEO is now in beta, then I'm going to be going over things step by step, starting with the new objects and what they can do. So the first new thing, or not completely new, but modified, the fence originally had no purpose besides just aesthetics. Now the fence will keep out ground animals, and I'll go over that later. So that's all in the terminal. New zones, nothing new. This new UI is not from this update. But we do have many new things in the aircraft tab. So the first new thing is the aircraft hangars. So we now have small, medium, and large for each size aircraft hangar. And these do about what they sound like, and I'll go over them in more detail later. These are the small ones. So we also have new objects, which are medium and large radar towers. So these are pretty simple. What they do is they just increase your capacity by 50 or 100. As you can see here, I have unlimited flight capacity. However, I'm not actually sure if these stack up or if the highest gets the most flight capacity. So we also have a windsock. Don't think it does anything besides just look nice, sort of. So these, nothing's changed besides that. New baggage staff, none of this stuff. Now in security, we have two new objects. We have the airport police station and the airport fire emergency response station. So those are some of the main things in the update. Hangars, I would say, are another thing. So these I'll go over in more detail later, but this is what they look like, this is what they are. Nothing new in here, and that is it. So on the UI, we also have this got overhauled, nothing really significant. Then we have two new things right here. So we have the analytics and testing. So what this does is you can basically call a pathing request. So say I wanted an aircraft to get from here to here. I can see if there is a path, and say, or I could see if, say a passenger path. See if a passenger can get from the check-in to the gate. As you can see, it can go through zones, and it doesn't know how to do that, and it has the information here. So the other thing is security patrols. So these are pretty much what they sound like. We have internal patrols, which, as you can see right here, this officer, we don't have an officer doing it right now, but we will likely get one doing it. So that's yep, there we go. And then we have the airport police car patrols, which are on service roads. They will patrol around there and remove any animals that are going near. And since I mentioned it, animals, they are a new thing. Also, I believe the airport police cars, not sure if they work. I've had some issues with them. They won't actually move any animals, but there are now animals in the game. So these they're birds, which if they're over your runway, can cause a bird strike, which will cause an emergency landing, which I'll go over a bit later. Or if animals are on the taxiway, they can block the taxiway and planes won't be able to move. So that's animals. Then this is a new object in the bird strike prevention system. It goes anywhere in the world. You can put it out here, but it's a bit pointless because it only is really needed in the runway. What it does is it any birds that come into its radius will go back. So you can change the radius give it more or less power, changes the price. These go around your runway and you access them from the runway upgrade menu. So next new things is we're going to go into vehicles, and we now have a few new vehicles. We have an airport police car, an ambulance, and a fire truck. All these three are very self-explanatory. Police cars do the patrolling as well. These two are only needed in one emergency that I have found. So, and fire trucks and ambulances park in here. Police park in here. They cannot park in normal parking lots. And I did mention that some of them use particular emergencies, so cover emergencies. This is the emergency update, so of course that's what we have. So emergencies, there are two types. Well, three types technically, but I would say there's two types. So we have active emergencies. These are emergencies that are actively happening, and you have to actively do something with them. So bird strikes, landing issues, security, medical, all that kind of thing. So then there are passive emergencies, and you can split that into two further categories: already happened and currently happening. So already happened would be something such as dangerous baggage loaded on the plane, or something such as, and then the other category, the currently happening, is something such as an oil crisis, which is extra fuel costs, or something such as a power surge. So, the first of those two can have countermeasures. The second does not. You just have to weather it through. So, what will happen with the active emergencies, depending on the emergency, is the planes will land, and they will generally go to the stand. For some, there will be things such as refueling, or the fire truck or ambulance or police car might do their job. And then, depending on the emergency again, some planes might go to the hangar to get repaired. So emergencies, you can have a maximum of 5, a total of all types, and the way that you can change the emergency frequency is the game difficulty. If you have started on difficulty and want to change it, then if you go to the Airport CEO forum, or just search how to change your game setting difficulty on Airport CEO, then you will find many instructions on how to do it. So other new things we have is operations. This has changed a bit. There's now contract negotiations. So right here you can see I have 0 negotiation points. What a surprise. I believe there might be a few bugs along with this and the saving and things. And then so what will happen is once you sign a contract, after a certain amount of time, if they're happy enough with you, then they will tell you that you can negotiate with them. Now a symbol will appear. I haven't seen it, I can't show it to you, but you can negotiate with them and you might get a better deal. You can also turn on auto negotiation. There's no description on this, but that's what it is. It did confuse me for a while. And speaking of negotiation, there's also now staff strikes and unions, which are related. So if your staff are unhappy enough with you, let's say you have badly trained staff and you haven't trained them, if they're unhappy with you, then eventually the union will come and say our staff deserve higher pay because they're unhappy, and you'll be able to say up to 5%, and the higher you do it, then the more chance they'll accept. If they don't accept, then your staff will go on strike for, I believe it's either 6 or 12 hours, and nothing will happen in your airport. I recommend you agree with them. So that is about all. There's a few bugs, tutorial's been updated, and now I'm going to show you the list of some of the examples of emergencies. So on your screen now you will see there are some active emergencies: bird strike I mentioned, medical, security, equipment failure, and or low fuel. Then we have, these cannot be combined, so you can't have an equipment failure and low fuel. Then passive emergencies, pandemic, on-stand equipment failure, which is when the ground crew, even if it's non-existent, discover that there's equipment failure and the plane has to be repaired. Plumbing, power surges, oil crises, and volcano explosions. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of passives I haven't covered. There's some active ones that I haven't covered. So back to Airport CEO. That is about it for this episode, this tutorial. And I'm going to mention, if you want to if you want to try the incidents yourself and don't want to wait for them to run, you can type in prompt incident 1 through 9, and this will disable achievements, same with the F10 window. So if I type in prompt incident 1, now this does require you to have the game running for quite a while, but if you have had it for running quite a while, then you will get a little notification here that says, for example, the bird strike will say, there's an aircraft, hit bird, and it needs to land. It will be given priority. You will have to assign them to a stand if you do not have auto planner on. And I think auto planner might automatically do it for you, although I could be wrong. I might be. And then they'll land, fire truck will come onto the runway, put them out, they'll go to the stand. Passengers will disembark, but that is about the only service they require. So stair truck, passengers will get off, they'll go to the hangar, get repaired for a day or two, and they'll take off again. So that is it for this tutorial. If you have any questions, comments, or other things, please don't hesitate to comment down below. Before I forget to tell you, the F10 menu has been cleared out a bit, and as usual, you will now lose your Steam achievements when you use any of that. For those of you who stuck around to listen to me talk, our Steam achievements now, check them out if you're using Steam, and I think that's the only way to get it, so you will have to be using Steam to doing Airport CEO. Thank you for watching, have a good day, and goodbye!